Welcome, everybody, and I would like you to welcome my guest, Stephon, aka Sizzle. Thank you for being here, Stephon.
Thank you very much for having me, Miss Kathy.
Well, you are very welcome. So, can you tell me why you go by Sizzle?
That's a great question. Sizzle is more so my creative name, my poetic rap, the singer in me, the artist in me. That's Sizzle.
That Sizzle? So,
Yeah,
it's awesome.
that's Sizzle. Stephon is the other everyday guy, the dad, the friend, just that good person.
Ah, that. So, when you say that Sizzle is your rapper name, do you rap?
Uh, I do a multitude of things with writing. I'm just good at using my pen, whether it's stories, currently working on a book, poems. I'm big for poems. And I do rap too, but I focus more on the poetry aspect at this stage.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And can you tell me, we met through Les Brown's Power Voice course and then through John Tallarico's Thinking into Results course. Can you tell me why you joined Les Brown's course?
Simple, because I was hungry. All jokes aside, I don't know if you remember when I read my poem to Les Brown. Every line in that poem was authentic. It was around 2015. I did take a call at work. There was a guy, he really was in a tight spot, had a lot of fees on his account. With our algorithm, you're really supposed to remove like one or two. I kind of, put my job on the line. I took care of like every fee on his account. He said, "Hey, have you heard of Les Brown?" Because not only did I remove the fees, I was kind of giving him positive, encouraging messages. And he was like, "Man, what do you really want to be? I don't think your future's in banking." And I told him I wanted to help people. He asked me if I heard of Les Brown. I said no. I listened to Les Brown from that day. As everything, it's a progress. I had my ups and my downs with it. But when the pandemic hit, I felt like he was really talking to me. I felt it in my heart and my spirit. I remember in 2015, 16, just me on a hope and a wish and a prayer. I used to email the Les Brown sites and just kind of say, "I'm the one, Les Brown. I'm the motivator. I can't wait to meet you one day." Just things like that. I've always been a visionary, a dreamer. And I got an email in late May, and it said, "You've been waiting for this." I mean, I was with my brother, and it's so funny. He thought it was like just a generic trying to reach for you kind of email. I was like, no, this is for me. This is for me. He's talking to me. He was like, "Come to the Zoom call on this date." I already knew whatever he was selling, I was going to be there. He already had me, so I didn't have to hear a word he had to say.
That is amazing. So the universe works in such awesome ways.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. And then you're also on the Monday night Thinking into Results course with me. And can you tell me why you chose to go to John's course?
Once again, because I am hungry. Les Brown said you need a good mentor, you need a good coach. I feel like what Les Brown says is gold to me. I listened to him. He recommended John. I got to see John firsthand from myself, from dealing with the Les Brown class. It was a no-brainer to me. Like I tell everybody around me, I'm willing to pay the price that it takes to get the mental clarity that I need. For I feel once I have the mental clarity that I need, the amount of money I can make is priceless. So a little investment in myself up front to get unlimited resources and opportunities, it's a no-brainer to me.
I right there with you. Right there with you. Oh, and a little bit about myself. I am advocating for my Black human friends and African Americans. So I want peace and I want belonging. And I had asked my African American friends what I could do for them, and they asked me to fight for them. And so that is why I joined the Les Brown course. And then from there, that's why I joined John's course as well, because I'm learning to use my voice.
Amen.
So it's and that's how we met, and it's been an amazing experience, an amazing ride. It's been a huge growth opportunity for all of us, I believe.
Hey man, can I just say real quick? I
Yeah.
remember the day where, the very first day where you joined the class, and you told us what your cause was. And I remember on that particular day, you had me as a fan. I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to work with her one day, because like I said, I'm always a visionary, and everything is created twice, once in thought and then once in reality. It was twice a second in reality. So I knew back then that we were going to work together. So even seeing this today makes my heart sing, because I am 100% down for your cause. I think you're doing amazing. And I see so much growth in you literally from that day that I'm excited to see where you're going with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I guess I owe Les Brown $10. Ah. Unless he doesn't watch this, then I'm good.
It's
Oh,
going to get to him.
yeah, right. Well, I do appreciate that, and I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission for belonging, and I heard a great quote the other day, and it was talking about diversity and inclusion, because a lot of people put them together and they combine them in one. And it said, diversity is being asked to the dance, and inclusion is being asked to dance. And that made me think
Wow.
different. I don't think I thought any differently, but it made me put it into a little bit different perspective. So you want to talk on that a little bit, or how
Wow.
you feel about diversity and inclusion?
Well, I want to say that is deep. That is almost summing up. I feel like how a lot of me and my brothers and sisters feel. In one particular quote, it really is that case. We do feel like in a lot of situations, it's almost like a courtesy to let us just be involved, but you don't, necessarily really, ask us for that dance. You don't really integrate us in the whole process. You don't really make us feel as welcome. It's almost like, well, I guess I gotta have one around. Let me have that one. And I felt that place on workplaces before. I know what that really feels like on a firsthand basis. Um, that's deep. That really is deep right there. I'm still kind of processing that.
So I think it's a great saying, and I think we all as human beings want to belong. And sorry, and we have that nature, just we want to belong. And it's really difficult, I believe, when you live in your country and you don't feel like you belong. And I personally don't know how that feels. I mean, I've had some experiences as far as not being the same religion or whatnot, but I don't go through that on a day day after day basis.
Of course.
And so for you to talk to me about this, I really do appreciate it.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
So can you tell me a little bit about your life and where did you grow up? I know you have a little daughter. Can you tell me a little bit more about you?
Sure. I grew up in Washington, D.C., from the Southeast area. I come from humble beginnings, but I'm not complaining about it. I feel like it all made me the man that I am today. My parents, they had their drug addictions, a lot of shortcomings. The older I get and the more I dive into it, I kind of see it's more so like a generational kind of thing. So I don't necessarily put all the blame on them. I also am big on accountability, because I also realize, if I fail my daughter, regardless of the factors that I use of the predecessors before me, I still failed my daughter. But also at the same time, like I said, I do understand it was tough for them. Nonetheless, I grew up, in very tough spots, a lot of evictions, a lot of going back and forth, foster care, you name it. I knew in high school that I had to get away from DC. That's all I knew. When I graduated from high school, I went to West Virginia University. To be honest, my intentions were not as pure as most people would have had for going to college to, get an education. In the back of my mind, I wanted an education, but in the front of my mind, I just wanted to get away from DC, to be honest with you. So I came out here, I was a little misguided, kind of a little product of my environment, got into this and that, some illegal things. Once I had my daughter, once I found out I was having a daughter, that really kind of hit me in a different way and really kind of made me think about different things and how I didn't want to repeat certain cycles. And I really feel like I said, 2014 is when my daughter was born. I feel like that was really the beginning of the making of me getting my life on track. I still, lacked some guidance, and it still would take some time before I'm at the point where I'm at now. But everything, it has to start somewhere, right? It has to be a starting point. And I feel like now I'm at the point where I'm really finding my voice. I feel like I've always had a voice, and I always knew I was supposed to use my voice to inspire people. But I'm at the point where I'm actually have the courage to use it. In my theory, I'm 29, and I see if it took me 29 years to figure this out, there are little me's out there. I might be the reason that someone can figure this out in their teenage years or in their early 20s. And if I can play a role in that, that means much more to me than anything I could, even think about. So it's all about right now being the best dad I could possibly be in the world, making sure my daughter has a life that I never got to have as a child, and also helping as many other children as I can as well, because I want to be the voice for the voiceless.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I saw yesterday, I have to have some water.
Me too, it's contagious.
Yeah, right. I saw yesterday that you are starting a book program. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So like I said, I'm always just about helping people. That's always been my goal. So, I put a challenge on my Facebook page that anyone that's interested at all, in, just bettering themselves. I have a lot of people that, I don't judge them, but I do observe and I do pay attention. They typically tell me the reasons why they can't do things or what's the limiting, why not. So, if I say, hey, read, they may say things like, I don't have any books, or I don't know what to read. So I try to almost eliminate the reasons why you tell me you can't do it. I'm paying for the book. I'm picking the book. You ain't even got to worry about it. I'll make sure it's a good book, and all you got to do is have a conversation with me about the book, just to really show me that you understand the book. Or if there are things you don't understand, we can talk about together. And even at that point, there may be things you might bring to my attention that I didn't even notice about the book. It's just about learning on all fronts. And once you show me, hey, I really read that book, I'm willing to, get you another book. And, that's just something I'm serious about reading. There was a point in time I didn't read, like most people say, I really didn't read. And I'm at the point where I really like reading. I really like reading, and I really do feel it's fundamental. And I just want to encourage people to read a chapter a day. That's all. Just start off at a chapter a day. As you get your momentum and you get your wings up under you, I know people that read almost like a book a day or, every other day. But it's a process. No one just starts off at that point,
Right, right. Can you tell me what your favorite book is right now?
My favorite book right now might be a little biased. Well, gotta be hungry.
That is awesome. Yeah. If I wasn't at the beach right now, you could see mine. It's also on the right next to me, because that is a great book, and I appreciated the fact that it was it was an easy read, but very
detailed
very detailed
clear.
and deep. Yeah.
Last, man, it's crazy.
Yeah. So he's an amazing guy, and the reason I got connected with Les and his motivational speeches is his humor. I love the fact that he laughs, and I love to laugh. I love to have fun. And so a lot of times you listen to the motivational speakers and they don't do any of that stuff, and that's what connected me with Les Brown. But yeah,
I agree 100%. Les Brown can make you have every emotional wave all in one speech. He'll make you cry. He'll make you laugh. He'll make you stand up and jump for joy. He'll make you say, I can do this.
Right. Great. Exactly.
What am I waiting for?
So true. So true. Oh, one of the other things that I've heard, actually just this week, it was at the TEDx the VIP reception I went to on Monday night.
Congratulations, that's so amazing.
So, thank you. I got invited because of the mission that I'm on, and the universe is talking to me. I'm not sure quite how it looks in the future. I have a vision, so I guess that's how it's looking. So yes, but yeah, and one of the guys said, one of the African American guys that was there, he said that it's hard, and I don't know if you have this issue as far as where you live right now, but in Utah, it's predominantly white, and we live in this bubble. And so a lot of times we don't see what's going on outside of Utah, and it's very rare that we see any all of the stuff that's going on, like in Wisconsin or all those other places. That's not very common for us to see. With that said, he said that there is a lot of times that like Hispanics can find commonality because of the fact that they just can create a little culture within within the community because they've got a common language. And he said he feels this, it's the same way with the Asian communities because they all have their own language. But African Americans, they may look different than the predominantly white people, but they share the same language. So they struggle finding a community sense for Utah. I don't know. Do you feel that way where you're living? Does that make sense to you?
I never looked at it from that point of view. I could see where he's going with that. I wouldn't necessarily disagree, but for me, I just where I'm from, have the viewpoint of knowing Washington D.C. as well as Morgantown here, which is a little bit more predominantly white. I don't necessarily think language plays that role or that factor. I think it's just really a unity issue because I feel like there's division even within the Black community. So to me, from my perspective, I see, division sometimes between white and Black, and then subdivisions within Black. So if, everyone together, if we can't get on the same page, then it's very difficult to try to also deal with that as well. It's tough. I feel like sometimes my enemy, maybe the other side as well as someone that's on my side. So I feel like those factors play a bigger role as to why, we struggle as well when I think about it.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. And honestly, I feel the same exact way, especially being a white female and the cause that I'm fighting for. A lot of times my African American or my Black American friends they say I don't understand, which I don't. I really, truly don't. But do I know that there's an issue? I do.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's always crazy to me too, because someone like you who's taking the initiative, who's trying, who's pushing the envelope, and like I said, it's a mentality thing. Some people, they more so would just look at the problem instead of going over solutions. You're actually at the table. I understand that I can't change my color or anything along those lines, but hey, what can I do? And you're taking action, as opposed to some people who would just sit back and just kind of just talk about the fact that there's a problem. So I can't side with that, man. And anyone that could go against you for what you're doing or say that they don't understand, I would kind of ping the same thing back at them. You don't understand, and keep going and keep doing what you're doing, because I promise you, more people get it than people who don't. And there going to always be people who don't get it. That's just unfortunately the fact of life.
Uh, I agree. I agree. And one of my things is I struggle with contention, and so I don't like fights. I don't like arguments, and so I stay away from all of that. And so, and I realized on Monday when Michael was saying that he was scared of leaving his business because of his mom. I realized that I was scared of contention. And after I realized what was holding me back, I was able to process that a little bit more and just say, you know what? It's okay. Not
You know,
everybody's going to like me.
not at
I'm
all.
so it's really okay, and this needs to be changed.
Amen. Amen. And I had that same battle as you. So I'm right there with you. I used to be so afraid of what people would think. Oh my God. And it's so crazy. And I really feel everything is inside out now. Now I worry about the piece of me. What do I think about myself? Can I live with the decisions I'm making? Am I feeling like I'm doing this for a cause? Like my saying now is, I just need to impact one. And I really go by that. There are moments where I'm afraid to do certain things that I'm about to do, but in my mind I think, hey, if I just impact one person, I achieve my goal today. I can have 10 people hit me with crazy stuff. I'm going to focus more on that one person I impact. I know that that's my purpose on this planet. And if I impact 2, 3 people at a time, that'll grow. As I continue to hone into my craft, I get it now. I'm gonna keep working, and I'm gonna keep working, and we're gonna keep impacting, and I'm gonna keep making connections, and I'm gonna keep working with other people who like impacting people, and we're gonna focus more on that than on everything else that's going on.
So,
Like
amen.
I put on my post the other day, I'm trying to create more superheroes and supervillains.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we're a little bit over our time. Uh, is there anything? So actually, I do have two questions for you. One, I really appreciate getting to know you and figuring out, learning about your life and learning about what makes you tick as far as like you being my African American friend. And I think you're awesome. And and my next question is, if you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self anything, what would it be and why?
I would have told him seek out Les Brown right then and there. I would have told him to take motivational speaking and coaching serious right then and there. I would have told him to keep writing right then and there. I would have told him to ditch all the people that you hang around on a daily basis because, like I said, I used to tell my dreams to small-minded people, and I would go by their opinions when they say, and I would listen to that. And it's funny now, I'm chasing those very same dreams and I don't care what they say. So I would tell that 18-year-old me, don't listen to none of that. You got you, bet on you.
Awesome. Awesome. You're sounding more and more like Les Brown every day. Way to
Uh,
go.
that's my goal. I wanted to leave you with a poem before I left, if that was possible.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask one other question as far as what, and then you can leave us with a poem.
Sure.
My question is, for me, I mean, you know that I'm advocating for your rights and not your rights, but belonging. That's what I'm advocating for belonging. And is there anything that you can tell whomever is watching this, what they can do to advocate to help this oh, my phone decided that they thought she wanted to talk to me. My phone wanted to talk to me. Anybody that's watching this, could you tell them what they can do to help advocate for the belonging for African Americans or Black humans? Because some people don't identify themselves as African Americans, even though they are Black. So that's why I choose those words. But can you tell a little bit about what they can do as far as to help you feel like you belong?
That's a great question. I would just say the little things. I'm big on energy. I'm big on vibes. Just be genuine. Just be Be genuine, be compassionate to your neighbor. That's what I would say. Just be compassionate. You don't always necessarily have to get it. For me, I don't expect everyone to get just no one. It's things I don't understand with other people. I'm very understanding of that, but I can be compassionate. I can be compassionate. I can help my brother up when he falls down. We not even necessarily have to understand the issue of why he fell, but genuinely stick my arm out to help him up. And it's just things like that. It's just little things. When you're around someone and you see something that you know in your heart isn't right, don't stand back and just say, hey, because it's not me, I feel okay. I didn't do it to him. No, speak up. That's not right. Be bold. Say, hey man, that's not right. We can't go for that anymore. I understand, I know I might have used to laugh at that, but that doesn't make me feel comfortable in my heart anymore. I can't stand by that. Sometimes I feel you got to be the change you want to see. So I would just encourage
Yeah.
everyone to just do your part.
Yeah. Well, fantastic words. Fantastic words. I appreciate that. Okay. And we are going to end with your poem. So I'm excited.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite poems that got me on the path of chasing my dreams. It's called Who Knows? Who knows what we have the potential to be? I just hope you see potential in me. Or maybe I could restore my confidence so I can see it in myself. Then I won't care if you disagree. Because I know I was placed here for a good reason. In the midst of adversity, I'm going to come into my season. And when I do, oh, baby, when I do, a lot of people will be shocked like they never had a clue. Life is about decisions, so be careful what you do. And be careful who you trust. A lot of people have deceived me. If I told you my life story, you wouldn't believe me. So when I make it, just know it wasn't easy. I'm as humbled as they come. I grew up to violence and poverty. We didn't really practice good customs commonly. Product of my environment, so of course they got a bond with me, but at the same time, I felt different. So I felt like an anomaly. I'm trying to be the first in my family to own property. Sounds crazy. Nothing like the routes you went, but we ain't all stupid. We just never had the blueprint. A lot of talent, we just lack the resources to use it. But when I get it, I know it will be amazing. And I'll be sure to pass it down some generations. I value love over hate. There's no debating. If you feel different, we can end the conversation. Metaphorically, I see myself as a trash man cleaning up pollution. Are you a problem or the solution?
Amen. Whoa, that was awesome. So
Thank you.
that was awesome. So thank you so much for your time, Stephon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
So
you.
awesome. And thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate